Well, to our UWM family and friends, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the inauguration ceremony for the 9th Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, Mark A. Money. For those of you whom I've not had the opportunity to meet, I'm Gale Klappa, and in my normal day job, I'm Chairman and Chief Executive of Wisconsin Energy and We Energies, and I've been given the honor of serving my alma mater as today's Master of Ceremony. Our event today will officially ratify Dr. Money as Chancellor, but it also celebrates you, this university, the greater Milwaukee region, and the entire state of Wisconsin. As you know, UWM alumni are making a tremendous impact in all walks of life. Earlier this year, for example, we were proud to see Catherine Henry, one of our very own, one of our 2015 graduates, take the national stage and win the semifinals of the Metropolitan Opera's National Council auditions. Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to please stand while the UWM Color Guard posts the colors, followed by our own Catherine Henry, who will lead us in singing the national anthem. May you all please be seated. Wow, Catherine, you are blessed with incredible talent. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you to the UWM Wind Ensemble, led by conductor John Clymer, for the wonderful pieces that were performed as the prelude to our ceremony this afternoon. And let us also thank the UWM Color Guard for their presentation of the colors. UWM, by the way, proudly serves more veterans than any other 4-year or 2-year institution in the state of Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted that a number of top administrators and academic leaders have joined us on the platform today. If you would hold your applause until they are all standing. We'll begin with members of the Chancellor's Cabinet, including the Chancellor. That's impressive. The Dean's Academic Council, and UW System Chancellors and Representatives. There we go. Thank you. It's reassuring to me to know that the Chancellor is actually on that council. As we inaugurate a new Chancellor today, we also have the opportunity to express our gratitude to those who have previously served UWM in this capacity. Through the history of this great institution, 11 individuals have served as Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in either a permanent or interim capacity. All are listed in today's program. 3 are no longer with us. We are, however, fortunate to be joined by John Schroeder, who served as Chancellor from 1991 to 1998 and has returned to our faculty in the UWM Department of History. Dr. Schroeder holds the distinguished title of UW System University Professor. And also with us this afternoon is Robert Greenstreet, who served as interim chancellor from 2003 to 2004 and continues his outstanding service to UWM as our Dean of the School of Architecture and Urban Planning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. On this very special occasion, we're honored that a number of elected officials from the city, county, and state have taken time from their busy schedules to be here with us at the Zelazo Center. Our thanks to all of you for joining us. Would you please stand? There we go. Now, while Governor Walker could not be here today, he did send a warm proclamation, which I will show you. It's actually a beautiful piece. A warm proclamation declaring today Mark A. Money Day throughout the state of Wisconsin. Mark, congratulations. So our thanks to the governor for that thoughtful gesture. Now, there's no doubt that over the years, UWM has become a major economic driver for the state, with an impact of more than $1.5 billion a year on the state's economy. A remarkable 74% of UWM graduates actually work and live in the state of Wisconsin. And bringing us greetings today from the state's capital is Reggie Newsom. Reggie is a 2003 graduate of UWM and currently serves as Wisconsin Secretary of Workforce Development. Prior to his tenure at the Department of Workforce Development, Secretary Newsom served as Assistant Deputy Secretary at the Wisconsin Department of Transportation and managed the State Disadvantaged Enterprise Program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary Reggie Newsom.
Well, thank you very much, Gil, for those gracious remarks. On behalf of Governor Walker, he brings greetings. On behalf of the State Department of Workforce Development, as well as the citizens of Wisconsin's greetings. And I'm really delighted to be here with you this afternoon because I am an alum of UW-Milwaukee, and it's an honor and privilege to be here for this inauguration of our chancellor, my chancellor, Chancellor Mone. And President Cross and Chancellor Mone, you know this, that the UW system, as well as UW-Milwaukee, plays a crucial role in developing the state's workforce, providing talent and human capital needs for employers and businesses. But in particular, UW-Milwaukee plays a role as a catalyst, as a convener, and a collaborator, building strategic alliances and partnerships, making sure we're creating those pathways for sustainable employment and good-paying jobs for Wisconsinites. And Chancellor, I know in my experience working with you that you have the vision and the leadership skills to be that convener collaborator, and facilitator, aligning economic development, workforce development, and education, pre- and post-secondary. And it's critical that we're able to do this type of thing. Going forward, I look forward to working with you to make sure that you have the support and resources that you need to provide the talent for Wisconsin businesses to make sure that they can be successful in a global marketplace in the 21st century. So again, on behalf of Governor Walker, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. And I'm excited to work with you moving forward to make sure employers have the talent that they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Newsom. We appreciate you being with us. As many of you know, UWM's national presence is growing, and there are a number of leaders in Washington, D.C. whose support has been essential to our progress. Tammy Baldwin is the first woman to serve in the United States Senate from Wisconsin. She has served our state with distinction as one of our 2 elected senators since 2012. And this past spring, Tammy introduced bipartisan legislation to designate UWM as one of 25 manufacturing universities in the nation. Senator Baldwin also has been a leading force in advancing UWM's School of Freshwater Sciences and Milwaukee's Global Water Council. With Tammy's help, we're creating a talent magnet and positioning southeastern Wisconsin to be the Silicon Valley of fresh water. Please join me in welcoming Senator Tammy Baldwin.
Thank you. Thank you, Gail. It is great to be back at UW-Milwaukee and to join you here on such a wonderful occasion, the inauguration of Chancellor Mark Money. From his focus on entrepreneurial education to his commitment to our nation's veterans, since 1989, Chancellor Money has been an integral part of the UWM family. During his tenure, Chancellor Money has ushered the UWM community into a new and exciting chapter of its history. Whether it's fostering campus research or cultivating lasting partnerships with MPS and MATC, Chancellor Money has his sights set on ensuring Wisconsin students are the best prepared to out-innovate the rest of America and, frankly, the rest of the world. I share so many of Chancellor Money's priorities and visions, and I am so proud to be here today representing the Wisconsin congressional delegation at his inauguration. Last year, I had the pleasure of meeting Mark while we were touring the School of Freshwater Sciences and attending the grand opening. UWM has been such a great leader of this great institution, and throughout his work, Mark lives up to our state's motto, forward. I have seen firsthand the important work that UWM is doing with the Water Council and the Global Water Center to help transform Milwaukee into the world hub for water research, education, and economic development. And that's why I have been so proud to be a champion of your efforts in the United States Senate. And this is just one example of the work that you're doing in Milwaukee to support innovation, research, and science to create jobs and build a made-in-Wisconsin economy. I want to take the time to thank UWM for working as a partner with me as I do my part on behalf of our state in our nation's capital. Specifically, I am so proud to have earned UWM's support for my bipartisan legislation that Gail just told you about, the Manufacturing Universities Act. UWM has a long history of working with manufacturers throughout the state, helping them to stay competitive in our global economy. And in particular, your efforts around advanced manufacturing have greatly benefited the state of Wisconsin. And what better day for this inauguration than National Manufacturing Day? I don't know how many of you knew it was today, but I look forward to continuing our work together. You have my commitment that I will continue to fight for UWM and its students in Washington, D.C. Please know you have a friend who will continue to support all you do to strengthen Milwaukee and our state and your reach well beyond the borders of this state. I am so honored to have the chance to join you today for this celebration, and I want to thank you personally, Chancellor Mone, for all you do to work to move our state and our country forward. Congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Baldwin. Before we go on, Tammy and I were talking before the ceremony, and she's hoping that our new chancellor will start a curriculum in airline logistics, because I think Tammy got stranded in Detroit last night, but we rescued her. Well, our next speaker is a long-standing friend of UWM, a long-standing friend of this region of the world, a long-standing friend of Milwaukee County. I've known Chris for a number of years. Chris Abele, of course, was elected to the county chief executive post in 2011. Previously, many of you knew Chris as a business owner, as CEO of the Argosy Foundation, a nonprofit organization that improves communities by strengthening programs in the arts, environment, education, and health and human services. But what you may not know about Chris is that he has a secret desire to be the starting point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, Milwaukee County Executive Chris Abele.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And it's an honor to be here today. I want to start by saying, full disclosure, I am a longtime friend and supporter of UWM. I didn't actually grow up in Wisconsin. I grew up in Massachusetts, but in the 22 years I've lived in this state, I have never been more than about 25 blocks from UWM, and I've had the incredible privilege of working with the incredible staff, faculty that does so much incredible work in this community, and I've never been unclear about the value that this institution has, not just to the city, not just to the county, but to the state. I'm honored to formally welcome Mark Mone as the next chancellor of this great institution. I've already enjoyed the relationship I've built with Mark and welcome the opportunities I've had to work with him thus far. I have every confidence in him, his leadership, the team he has around him to continue to grow UW-Milwaukee and make it a destination university for students, not only from Wisconsin, but from all over the world. This institution is important, not just to the city, the county, and the state, but this country. Not only does UWM have world-class faculty, staff that give our children amazing education, but it does so at an incredibly reasonable cost, and it is one of the greatest economic engines our region has. And I don't mean this just in terms of jobs, but the research and talent that it develops and contributes to grow this economy. The growth of UWM over the past decade is a testament to the great things this university can accomplish in partnership with this city, our county, and so many others. UWM is on a path to do amazing things in this future, and I'm thrilled to have Mark at the helm. I want to end by saying, and I can't emphasize this enough, today you're going to hear a lot of people welcoming Mark, and that's important. But the single best thing we can do to commit to the growth of UWM is to support not just today, not just in the next months, but the next years, his plans and his goals with every bit of advocacy we can bring. All of us know there are times when the state could see the value of UWM a little more clearly than it does. I'm happy to see some of our friends from the legislature here, and I know that they get this. They know, not everybody else does, but we can change that. And again, as we welcome you here, Mark, I want you to know, if there's anything I can do to push the ball forward, count me in. Congratulations.
and that includes no double dribbling. Thank you so much, Chris. Our next speaker has a long record of honorable public service. Over the decades, he has been elected to the State Assembly, the State Senate, and the U.S. House of Representatives. Since 2004, he has been serving Wisconsin's largest metropolitan area, working to make our residents safer and our economy stronger. Please help me welcome Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett.
Good afternoon. What a great day for UWM and a great day for Milwaukee. It feels a little funny, I have to admit, welcoming Mark to UWM because he's been here since 1989. So I think you know your way around campus, but we are ecstatic that you have now been elevated to the head position. Chancellor Mone has a proven style of leadership which betters the individuals around him. And I think all of us who are fortunate enough to be in positions of leadership understand that our success is really based on those individuals who surround us. And he has done a great job in surrounding himself with very talented people. We are so lucky to now have him as our chancellor, and that all of Milwaukee will now have the opportunity to learn the Mone way. Your unique commitment to building partnerships and welcoming community leaders to campus helps students succeed and our city thrive. The city of Milwaukee loves its relationship with UWM. We love the talent, we love the entrepreneurism, we love the parking revenue that we get from the students. They're all important to us, trust me. And UWM makes an investment each day in Milwaukee, and each of your 14 schools and colleges make Milwaukee better. Your School of Freshwater Sciences is one of only 3 schools in the world studying the critical natural resource. And the UWM Lubar School of Business, and I see the Lubars here, focus on success in business and in life, and it provides students a springboard to success. As the county executive said, that is something that's vitally important. Having this institution as an economic driver is critical for the future of southeastern Wisconsin, of Milwaukee County, of the city of Milwaukee, and really of the entire state of Wisconsin. Keeping our young people here in Milwaukee after graduation will help fuel our future, and Dr. Mone's deep relationships in our business community will create new opportunities for success. UWM is home to powerful ideas and proven results. As Mark leads UWM into an exciting new chapter, our city and community stand ready to join with you and lead. We are excited to see what UWM will do next. Congratulations, Mr. Chancellor.
Thank you so much, Tom. The comment about the parking revenue brought back some bad memories for me. I think one year when I was a student here, I single-handedly balanced the city of Milwaukee budget. But we really appreciate you being here, Tom. You know, it's always tough to follow the mayor, but I think Samuel Hines will captivate us all. Samuel is a classic guitarist at the Peck School of the Arts. Recently, he was a finalist in the prestigious Christopher Parkening Guitar Competition, and he's currently completing a master's degree in guitar performance at the UWM Music Department. Ladies and gentlemen, I really think you'll enjoy this. Samuel Hines. Wow. Thank you so much, Samuel. That was absolutely fantastic. It goes without saying that UWM is a growing and important part of the University of Wisconsin system. And of course, the University of Wisconsin system is governed by our Board of Regents. Would the members of the Board of Regents please rise and be recognized? Bringing greetings today from the Board of Regents will be Regent Jose Vasquez. Regent Vasquez, also in his day job, serves as president of St. Anthony's School. And for those of you who may not be familiar, St. Anthony's is the largest Catholic K-12 school in the entire nation. Jose brings a broad range of experience to his current role, with 30 years of service in education, in county government, and in the private sector. Please welcome Regent Jose Vasquez.
You know, it's said that as a speaker, you should never follow children, and now, today, you should never follow guitarists, such as accomplished ones, but I will do my best. It is my pleasure and honor to be here, and Chancellor Mone and Provost Fritz, an honored guest, and all in attendance. It is my pleasure and honor to extend greetings from Regent President Regina Milner and my Regent colleagues, those that are here and those that were not able to join us today, on this joyful day at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It is said that the inauguration of a new chancellor is always a special point in time at any university. The new chancellor is presented with opportunities and challenges. The opportunities are to conduct an assessment of the academy and to continue to build on the solid foundation. The challenges are to make changes or modifications that are necessary, and also to chart a new vision that is embraced by the institution in order to move forward. The Regents recognize that Mark Mone has the skills and experiences to face these opportunities and challenges and lead UW-Milwaukee into an even brighter future. Chancellor Mone, best wishes and continued success.
Thank you very much, Jose. For the many of us who've come to know Mark Mone, we understand that Mark is all about student success. And in the days ahead, Mark will have a strong partner in the president of the UWM Student Association, Mike Sportello. Please help me recognize Mike and the members of the Student Association Executive Board. Let's see, where are we? There we go. All right, now it's time to hear the voices of the students themselves. They'll tell us how UWM is having an impact on their lives today and building a bright future for tomorrow. Here we go.
There's so many reasons I love UW-Milwaukee. It's not just the academics, it's not just the research, it's not just getting involved in the community. It's making a difference in all of those areas and having the true opportunity to have a real impact every day on campus. My name is Mike Sportello. I'm the student body president here at UW-Milwaukee, and I'm so proud to be able to hold that position. The students here at UW-Milwaukee are so unique. We're paired with the best faculty in the world, we do amazing research, but more than anything, we're involved in the community and we're growing with it. It's no question that the students of UW-Milwaukee make an impact on our city, but our impact is also global. We have students going every year to South America, Asia, Europe, bringing their research, their skills, and ultimately their leadership to the rest of the world.
My name is Kaylee Jennings, and I am a junior here at UWM, and I have just gotten back from Kenya doing research with nursing. I was assisting Dr. Keiko with her research looking at women with HIV. I think it's important because HIV is a global issue that I don't think is looked at as much here in America. For me, it's very rewarding we all know what they're going through, but when you see them together, they don't show any pain. They just smile and laugh and want you to know that they're going to be okay no matter what. UWM has so many different opportunities for students. You just have to look for it and find what fits you.
I started my own company called IsoPoint Technologies, and we're helping commercialize a research tool from the university that helps trap single molecules. Scientists can trap single molecules such as DNA and proteins to study genetic disorders. My name is Alex Francis. I did my undergraduate, my master's, and now my PhD work in mechanical engineering at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The idea for my company started the Innovation and Commercialization course. From there, I entered the idea in the Student Startup Challenge, where they gave me guidance and funding to really start my company. And then I was a sponsor in the Product Realization course, where we refined my product, and from there developed a business plan, and I entered this new venture business plan competition. So UWM has a lot of opportunities for students to start their companies, gain funding, and support.
The students of UW-Milwaukee are excited, invigorated, and ready to make a difference in Milwaukee and the community, and we're so happy to have Chancellor Mone on board. It's not just that Mark cares about student success, it's that he's willing to put in the time and effort to actually make it happen. Seeing his eyes light up when we talk about, future endeavors or things like that is a really great experience for me and for the rest of the student body. Congratulations, Chancellor Mone. We're so excited to have you.
Was that Mark stealing a French fry in the... Well, ladies and gentlemen, those students are the faces of our future, and you can see from the brightness in their eyes, it's a future filled with promise. It's easy to see how UWM is making a real difference, not just here, but all across the globe. And now, representing our faculty is the chair of the University Committee, John Reisel. Before John reaches the podium, please join me in recognizing all the members of the University Committee. If they will stand. Thank you. Dr. Reisel is a professor of mechanical engineering. His outstanding research has absolutely enhanced the educational experience, particularly of our engineering freshmen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. John Reisel.
On behalf of the faculty of the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee, I welcome Mark Mone as our 9th Chancellor. Having served on the UWM faculty for over 26 years, Dr. Mone has a deep appreciation of this institution. He understands the role that UWM plays in the education of our students and values the world-class research performed here. Over the years, many of us have had the pleasure of interacting with Chancellor Mone in various capacities. We recognize and appreciate his strong leadership skills, his ardent commitment to UWM, his effective communication, his participative leadership style, and his openness to new ideas and feedback. Higher education in general, and UWM in particular, are facing challenging times and needs leaders who possess these qualities. We are confident that Chancellor Mone will lead UWM through its next phase of development as Wisconsin's great public urban research university. So again, congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, Dr. Reisel. We now have a very special offering from Wisconsin's own Poet Laureate and UWM Professor Kim Blazer. Dr. Blazer will present a cento, and for those of us, including me, who did not know what a cento is a poem that is wholly composed of phrases that are taken from other works, and in this case, phrases also taken from Chancellor Mone's own language. Please extend a warm welcome to our Poet Laureate, Dr. Kim Blazer.
Good afternoon. So as Gail said, the poem that I wrote for this event is a cento, and it's from the Latin word for patchwork. The cento is a collage poem. It's a poetic form composed entirely of lines from other sources, and I thought it would be fun to create a poem using Chancellor Monet's own language. So I spent quite a bit of time listening to the Chancellor's various addresses, as well as his radio interviews, reading his comments and the letters he writes to the campus at large. And the word used the most in recent months was probably budget. But I'm happy to report it does not appear at all in this poem. But all the words and phrases here, including those in the title, are Chancellor Monet's own, and you may recognize some characteristic expressions. Clarion calls. We face the headlands before us, passionately expressing our stories, backbone of labor supply, entrepreneurial, industry partners bringing research to life, student-centric, transformational experiences. UWM is a best-kept secret. Moving forward together, looking for our inner Godzilla, immerse yourself in all things Panther. Flashlight on, waist deep in this pond, checking out sound and vibration, a remarkable buzz in the air. We are in the sweet spot. The ground has been broken, the infrastructure is up. Serendipity, we are at the right place. This is the right time, an age of collaboration and lifelong discovery. Moving forward together, break out of path, road riding, a little bit of mountain biking. We can control our destiny. I take this as a challenge, a provocation, a mandate. People standing up, a hue and cry. A shout out to members of Team Pause, playing both defense and offense. This campus, a vibrant nexus of learning, partnerships, innovation, and creativity, keeping the pedal down, turning the heat up, a force that makes a difference in Milwaukee and beyond. Lean, underfunded, everything we do at UWM is a noble cause. The Panther Nation is strong. We are poised to rise together, spiraling upward, fulfilling the pledge of the Wisconsin idea, one of the clarion calls for why so many of us are here. Here's the difference we make, why it matters, the so what. Generations of students to come, life after graduation, student success made in Milwaukee. Moving forward together, explore with me great, mighty potential, life-changing, transformational, the UW Milwaukee story. Congratulations, Chancellor Monet.
Wow, that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Blazer. Outstanding. Particularly, I like the inner Godzilla piece. At UWM, our academic staff is made up of more than 1,000 individuals who serve in teaching, research, and administrative positions. They're literally the heart and soul of our institution. And today, they're represented by Robin Wiegert, who is chair of the Academic Staff Committee. Now, as Robin approaches the podium, please join me in recognizing all the members of the Academic Staff Committee. If you will please stand. All right, well, in addition to her work on the Academic Staff Committee, Ms. Wiegert also serves UWM as Associate Director of the Honors College. Our Honors College offers talented, motivated students the personalized education of a small liberal arts college together with the unique opportunity of a major research university like UWM. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Robin Wiegert.
I think I have to find my inner Godzilla after following up Dr. Blazer. Good afternoon. My name is Robin Wiegert, and I do currently serve as the chair of the Academic Staff Committee. I've had the opportunity to work closely with Chancellor Mone in this role and others, and one of the things I've come to appreciate most is his collaborative approach to understanding, managing, and problem-solving issues that the university, and specifically academic staff members, are facing today. The Academic Staff Committee and its constituents appreciate his advocacy on their behalf and his willingness to give his time and, more importantly, his attention to our concerns, fears, and frustration about the uncertainty that lies ahead. I find Chancellor Mone to be a man of integrity and good character, and I am confident that although we are currently swimming upstream in troubled waters, we can count on him to lead us through them with wisdom and strength. Thank you, and congratulations, Chancellor Mone.
Thank you, Robin, very much. We also have more than 1,300 university staff at UWM who serve as police officers, custodians, IT professionals, financial managers, lab staff, and more. Please join me in recognizing the members of the University Staff Council, if you will please stand. For today's program, the administrative staff will be represented by Stan Yasaitis. Stan chairs the University Staff Council. Mr. Yasaitis also serves in a support role with the admissions and recruitment area. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Stan Yasaitis.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Well, let me offer my regard to Chancellor Mark Mone and my appreciation for the opportunity to share these thoughts with you. I represent, as mentioned, around 1,400 members of the university staff at UW-Milwaukee. I have the honor of serving as the chair of their University Staff Council, which is UWM's newest governance body. My job as chair has been facilitated by Mark Mone prior to being chancellor and since being chancellor, and his strong support, which I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate. At a time when our very existence has been threatened by state disinvestment, misguided and ignorant as that disinvestment might be, in an era when higher education is so important to the future of our state and our region, our country, I can't imagine a better leader for us during these times than Mark Mone. His unswerving commitment to UWM, to its students, staff, and faculty are recognized, and we thank you, Mark. Sometimes I have to wonder why someone would want to take on the helm in such stormy seas. But I think I know why Mark Mone did this. It's because the work we do here is too important to let lie. Thank you, Mark, and congratulations, Chancellor.
All right. Thank you very much, Stan. We appreciate your remarks. Also with us today is Dave Miskey. Dave is president of the Alumni Association, and with Dave are several distinguished members of the Alumni Association Board and the UWM Board of Visitors. Please join me in welcoming them. If they would please stand. I think they have the Bob Bucher seats in the front. Please stand. There we go. Thank you. Now, to introduce a video highlighting the university's alumni is Tonit Calloway. Tanit is a 1989 graduate of UWM. She is Vice President of Human Resources today at Harley-Davidson. She also serves as President of the Harley-Davidson Foundation. Please join me in welcoming an officer of one of Milwaukee's iconic companies, Tanit Callaway.
Good afternoon. How are you all? I have to tell you, I am deeply humbled and honored to be here to help celebrate the inauguration of a very dear friend, Chancellor Mark Monet. I have been truly blessed in my life. One of the blessings was receiving my undergraduate education from UWM. UWM has served as the foundation of everything I am and everything I will become. It's with that education that I was allowed and able to become a practicing lawyer at firms in this city and then in-house at Harley-Davidson. And it's with that training that I ended up where I am today as the president of the foundation and vice president of human resources. I could not have achieved it without UWM. I could not have achieved it without its professors, its counselors. It is with that significant influence that I am who I am today, and that influence extends to all of our alumni. We are a large group, and we are worthy of immense pride. And some of those examples of those distinguished alumni are on the stage and in the audience. There are over 160,000 of us, and we represent every field and every position. And we are proud of our affiliation with UWM, and I hope the community is as proud of this university as we are. I would like you to please join me in a video that highlights the successes of our UWM graduates called UWM Alumni of Impacting the World.
The role that UWM plays in the future is very, very exciting, and I think the graduates of our campus are on the cusp of doing some incredible things. I'm Dave Miskey, and I'm the chair of the Alumni Association. We represent the 160,000 plus alums that are in the United States and around the world. We've got people in every industry you can imagine, and they are playing significant roles in those industries.
I am absolutely humbled when I hear and see the accomplishments of so many UWM alumni. My name is Beth Pritchard, graduated from UWM and very proud of my Milwaukee roots. Currently I serve on 3 public company board of directors. After I left Bath & Body Works, after being their CEO, I formed a company and now we do third-party fragrances. And I also work with a large Middle Eastern company that does franchising for brands across the world.
My name's John Pritchard. Beth and I met as freshmen at UWM.
And we're still together.
And we're still together. I went on to law school. I'm working with a large law firm in Columbus, Ohio.
What UWM does is, yes, it promotes group classes, group thinking, but more importantly, it really focuses on what your needs are. And I believe that that's one of the most important life lessons that you really learn, and you learn it in spades at UWM.
It taught me how to be a good problem solver. It taught me how to identify issues, organize them, prioritize them, and then resolve the issue in a practical setting.
When you have a degree from UWM, it's not just a sheepskin you put on the wall, it's really a degree in achievement.
What I learned at UWM was a set of values having to do with striving to improve. My name is Bob Cialdini. I graduated from UWM in 1967. And then my first job was at Arizona State University. I would call myself an academic, and that includes being a researcher, being a teacher, being a mentor to students, and also a writer. When I was on campus, we were fairly small, but there was a sense that we were going to move up. That value system was, I think, the thing I most carried away from UWM.
I am extremely proud to be a UWM alum. I'm Devona Wright Cottrell, Associate General Counsel at Robert W. Baird, and I earned my MBA from UW Milwaukee. I found that UWM had really deep expertise and very solid connections with the Milwaukee business community. I would learn things and I could apply it the next day. And so that really helped me to be able to open my eyes and my perspective and research, well, what do I want to do next? And I ended up at Baird, and it's been one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
I can find no better leader at this point in time who has the connections in the private sector, in the business community, in trying to deal with the budget constraints that we have than Mark Mone. And I think the Chancellor is going to position UWM in a way that will allow us to succeed in the near future and in the long term.
Thank you, Tonit, and thanks to all of UWM's distinctive alumni. If I could pause for a second, if you think back through the last hour we've spent together, and particularly that video, and think about how many times the word serve has been heard today, that's a very big part of the value and foundation that UWM has instilled in so many of us. Thank you, Mark. All right, well, we're very pleased this afternoon to have with us representatives from a number of sister institutions of higher education. Please join me in recognizing those delegates now. If you will please stand. Every color of the rainbow. And speaking on behalf of those institutions is a truly distinguished individual who is also an influential colleague of Chancellor Mone. He is president of Northern Illinois University. That's a position he has held since 2013. Prior to that, he spent 24 years in the Washington State University system, and that's where he taught courses in management, strategic planning, and organizational design. It was back in the day in Washington where he met Chancellor Mone as the senior advisor of Mark's doctoral dissertation. He was then, and remains today, a valuable mentor to Chancellor Mone. He's also a good friend who, like the Chancellor, enjoys a good ride on two wheels, though one enjoys motorcycles, thank you, Tonit, and the other enjoys trek bikes. We're delighted to have with us today Dr. Douglas Baker.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a real honor and pleasure to be here. I did meet Mark about 30 years ago at Washington State University, where I chaired his PhD committee. It was about the same time he met Sarah, and thank you, Sarah, for your support of Mark and the family. It was a magical time in that department's history, with many productive scholars who cared deeply about their students and research. Mark fit in well with that culture and quickly emerged as a leader among his peers. As an example, we developed a weekly voluntary seminar in which faculty or graduate students could present their research at any stage of development and have it peer critiqued. Now, normally that kind of intense seminar would have been organized by a senior faculty member. However, Mark assumed that role as a graduate student. The fact that the faculty trusted him at that early stage of his academic development foreshadowed his fair-handed leadership skills that have become apparent over the course of his career. I'm pleased that the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee has wisely chosen to give Mark another forum to contribute to this wonderful institution. I know you're going to be a great leader in this difficult time. Thank you, Mark. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Baker. On our platform today and in attendance are a number of notable community leaders. If you would hold your applause until they are all introduced and standing, so we'll ask each one to stand as I introduce them. We'll start with one of our partners in crime, Tim Sheehy, president of MMAC, the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Tim, thanks for joining us today. Next is the venerable president of the Milwaukee Common Council, Alderman Michael Murphy. Thank you, Michael. The superintendent of the Milwaukee Public School System has joined us today, Darian Driver. Darian? Thank you, Darian. And the president of MATC, Vicki Martin. Vicki, thank you. Thank you all for being here. UWM is fortunate to have you with us today. Thank you so much. And speaking of fortunate, this institution is very fortunate to benefit from the contributions of 3 foundations that support our mission, including the UWM Real Estate Foundation, the UWM Research Foundation, and of course the UWM Foundation itself. The UWM Foundation is generously supporting today's inaugural events, and we thank you very much. Chris Fiasca, who is president of the UWM Foundation Board, and now brings us greetings and well wishes from the foundation. Chris, in her day job, is president of product finance at the Quiet Company, Northwestern Mutual. She's a proud 1980 graduate of UWM. Please join me in welcoming Chris Fiasca.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here with you today to celebrate UWM and our 9th Chancellor, Mark Money. On behalf of my fellow board chairs, Bruce Block, who is the chair of the Real Estate Foundation, and Bill Berezowitz, who is the chair of the Research Foundation, and the many foundation board directors, some of who are with us today. If you'd please stand as well, if you're here today. Chancellor Money, we send our very best wishes on your inaugural day. Together, these foundation boards work to grow and manage philanthropic support for the university, as well as enhance research and innovation. We secure and maintain real estate holdings and make connections throughout the greater Milwaukee community for the good of UWM, our students, and our faculty. As leaders in business and the community, we see each day the important role UWM plays in providing an excellent and transformational education to a diverse array of students who will one day, as has been said earlier, be leaders in Milwaukee, in our state, and across our country. And thanks to continued strong leadership here at UWM, it is a university with growing momentum. I feel it every time I come here. It's an honor and a privilege for all of us that serve on these foundation boards to support our UWM and to work with you, our 9th Chancellor. Congratulations, Chancellor Money, and congratulations to us.
Thank you so much, Chris. When we think of our community and those who make such a difference in striving to make it the best it can be, the name that comes to mind almost immediately for me is John Daniels. John is Chairman Emeritus of Quarles and Brady and a very active agent of civic change for Milwaukee. Please welcome a very good friend of mine and a very good friend of this university who will introduce a video showcasing our vibrant connections to UWM's many communities. Ladies and gentlemen, John Daniels.
Got to stay agile, don't you? Well, thanks, Gail. This is really terrific, and it's a great honor to be here with you and the entire UWM family today. You know, we've heard in the last hour or so wonderful comments about the imprint of UWM all over our community. Just think about it. The arts, education, health, water, and the list goes on and on and on. If there's an issue to be addressed in the community, UWM is there. You know, I've had the great privilege of working in this community for a number of decades, and I can tell you one of the greatest honors has been working on community project with UWM grad Gail Klappa, who just does remarkable things. You know, my notion of all of this is sort of a little phrase that I use all the time, which is that everybody counts every day, and I really mean it. You know, the wonderful thing about education is it is self-enriching to you. But the power of education is your ability to help others with it. And UWM's mission in that regard, and the Chancellor's work in that regard, is absolutely incredibly appreciated by all of us. It's really the high point for me of involvement with this university. So on behalf of all of us, I'd like to share with you, Chancellor, a little video titled UWM Changing the Lives Through Community Engagement, and that's exactly what this institution has done.
You can look across the globe and you can't find a great, thriving city without a powerful university at its core. And that's what UWM means to Milwaukee, both today and for our future.
UWM is really a key part of the answer to Milwaukee continuing to be a creative, innovative city.
UWM is vital to the community for the entrepreneurship, the partnerships, the collaborations. UWM is very open to working with everyone to make Milwaukee a better place. The difference that UWM makes the nonprofit sector is their engagement, that they're involved at all levels. So of all of my volunteer activities that I do, there's someone from UWM that's involved every step of the way.
UWM really creates a community of learners and researchers, which is different from what any other university can offer across this area. When you look at some of the really exciting things that have been happening with Milwaukee over the past few years, everything from water to energy, whether it's solar energy or microgrids, UWM's been at the core of that. There has been the talent and the leadership commitment to make this happen from UWM that's made this difference in Milwaukee.
Every great engine runs on fuel, and UWM provides the talent, if you will, the fuel that powers our economy. Most educational institutions, you look at the teachers, the school leaders, most likely you're going to find somebody from UWM, and you can walk through most of the corporate boardrooms and find in the background of their resume that they were at UWM at some point in their careers, and that's a tremendous testament to what UWM means to this community.
Mark Money is the ideal person to lead UWM because he cares a great deal about both the faculty and the community, and he is an incredible collaborator.
I think Mark is fabulous with respect to his mission, his vision, and his desire to truly make a difference.
Well, first of all, Mark is a great strategic thinker. Secondly, he cares deeply about people. And third, he has a great passion for UWM.
Congratulations to you, Mark, and Dr. Sarah Swanson, and to the whole UWM team. I wish you the best.
Congratulations, Mark, on your inauguration. I really look forward to working with you for many years to come in changing Milwaukee.
Congrats, Mark. It's been a long time. Make sure Max has plenty of sticks to chase.
Thank you, John, and thanks to all of you in the community who engaged so successfully with UWM to move our region forward. You know, over the years, the way learning takes place has really been transformed by the evolution of technology, and the UWM libraries have adapted to these rapid changes. With more than 5 million books and other cataloged items, the UWM libraries are an amazing reservoir of knowledge and an invaluable gift to those who pursue learning. We now have a special presentation to the Chancellor from the Friends of the Golda Meir Library. Please welcome Lynn Pearson, President of the Friends of the Golda Meir Library, and Eva Barczyk, Director of UWM Libraries.
Well, good afternoon. As Chancellor Money, this afternoon you have been gifted with many wonderful words and very well deserved, and I can certainly add to those, but we chose to honor your inauguration with 2 gifts from the UWM libraries and from the Friends of the Golda Meir Library. So as librarians, we did our research, and we discovered that one of your favorite books is by Herman Wouk, a highly acclaimed historical novel, The Winds of War. And we also learned that you have read it many times since you first began reading it in 8th grade. So for your next reread, we present you with a very special edition that's hand-signed by the author. And here to present our other gift is Lynn Pearson, the president of the Friends of the Golda Meir, which is an awesome, supportive group of volunteers in the community.
Thanks. Thanks, Eva. Chancellor Money, the Friends of the Library wish to present you with this framed facsimile of an 1846 map that resides in UWM's American Geographical Society Library. Made by Samuel Augustus Mitchell, the map includes your native state of Washington when it was still a part of the Oregon Territory, along with Upper California, the Missouri Territory, and Texas, and it's based on explorations of the Northwest and data from the Lewis and Clark expedition. So I hope you'll enjoy it.
And I just want to add that each gift, which was contributed through the Friends of the Golda Meir Library, bears an inscription presented by the UWM Libraries and the Friends of the Golda Meir Library to Mark A. Money in commemoration of his inauguration as the 9th Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, October 2nd, 2015. So thank you. And congratulations.
That was terrific. What incredible gifts. Thank you, Lynn and Eva. You can see how much those gifts meant to Chancellor Money. Okay, we have one more special addition to our program. It's a long-standing tradition that a new chancellor is presented with a medallion that is subsequently worn at all formal university events. So we recorded a video of the new medallion that has been created for Chancellor Money. And as you'll soon see, there is incredible symbolism and meaning behind its creation. Please enjoy the making and the meaning of the Chancellor's medallion.
The opportunity to make and design this medallion, it's a great opportunity to try to embody what Milwaukee and UWM specifically, what they mean to this community. 3 things that the Chancellor and I talked about were student success, research that matters, and significant engagements within the community. Those 3 ideals were major cornerstone ideals that Mark wanted to make sure that we conveyed within the design. And so one of the major components of the chain are multiple kind of hands that hold these spheres. And the spheres represent this knowledge, this impactful research that begins at UWM but then grows out into the community. Water is a major theme in the piece. And there's going to be a clear center portion to be able to see through and see the water inside of the medallion. That almost represents a ship's porthole. That is similar for our students. UWM becomes this lens for which they are able to look through and kind of see their own future and how they will fit into that community that's beyond the university. I think it says a great deal about Mark that he wanted to find a way to make the medallion about the people at UWM and not specifically himself. It's not just the community of UWM, but it's the community of the whole city of Milwaukee. And I think that shows that Mark has a great vision for the role that UWM plays in our community.
Our thanks to University Relations and Communications and especially the video team for their great work and for all the outstanding videos that we've seen today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've now reached the featured portion of our program, the investiture of Chancellor Money. Offering introductory comments and then leading the investiture is the president of the University of Wisconsin System, Ray Cross. Ray began his tenure as the 7th president of the University of Wisconsin System last year. He brings to his new role a valuable mix of academic and private business experience. Like Chancellor Money, he's a great listener. Ray was once quoted as saying that success involves two-way relationships and open, honest communication, bringing the resources of the university to the people of Wisconsin while also bringing the problems of the people to the university. And Ray said to accomplish that, we have to be really good listeners, not just good lecturers. Please welcome an accomplished man of true wisdom, the president of the University of Wisconsin System, Ray Cross.
Well, good afternoon. It's very nice to be here and to celebrate this with you. Before I begin, I would like to recognize the members of the search committee who worked to select and bring Chancellor Mone here. So if you would stand, please, members of the search committee. And I would also like to ask the regents who participated in that. That includes you, former Regent Mike Falbo. Thank you very much. I was awed today by the music. My family, my wife is a piano teacher, and my daughter is a piano and vocal major, and my son-in-law is a choral major, and I could go on in here. I've been to more music concerts than most people could put up with. That was beautiful, Sam, and I believe it was Catherine. That was just beautiful, so thank you very much. In just a few minutes, we will have installed 3 new chancellors in the last 30 days. I should be getting good at this by now, but I'll let you be the judge of that. 3 new leaders at 3 UW system institutions in 3 tremendous communities. As I've shared at each one of the ceremonies, these occasions are organized and orchestrated to formally recognize and celebrate a new university leader. That's important. It marks change, it's history, it's a new chapter. But what we also know is that this is an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the institution, not just a new chancellor. So today, so much of what we've talked about is recognizing and honoring and celebrating this university, the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. So many of you here today, students, faculty, staff, alumni, community leaders, and just UWM friends, have helped to shape, form, and build this wonderful institution. We saw them crafting the medallion. That was a physical representation of the authority established and recognized in the role of the chancellor. This university was shaped and built and formed by so many people here today and many that are no longer here. You continue to do this as we all strive to realize our dreams and the dreams of the city, the region, and the people of this great state. So it is wonderful to look out and see so many UWM students, colleagues, and friends, collaborators, builders from different generations joining us today. In Chancellor Mark Mone, we have a leader who's committed to keeping our focus on the future and the role of UWM in that future, helping us make it brighter. I think that is critical. A university is, by its very nature, a futuristic organization. We deal in the future. We are preparing students to live and actually thrive in our world that we don't yet know, the future, for the next 40 or 50 years or beyond. Working with faculty, staff, and the greater UWM community, I'm confident that Chancellor Mone will provide the leadership needed to not only prepare UWM students for that future, but I'm also confident that he will prepare them to lead us through the future. I have been impressed with his commitment to look through a lens of collaboration. We've heard about that today. So many folks have talked about it. His interest in discovery, his curiosity, and his commitment to entrepreneurialism, clearly important. With his leadership and your contributions, we have a state-of-the-art interdisciplinary academic community ready to go, ready to partner and work together and collaborate. And yes, Mark has done some interesting things. As you probably know, he's climbed a rock wall. He's done some things with students. We all saw him steal that fry. We saw that. We were That did not slip by us, Mark. That did not. He's one of us. A lot of these things may seem trivial. They are not. They're part of his leadership style, a style that serves alongside, not above, that is a partnership, not a monarchy. This vibrant campus, one of 26 in our widely respected UW system, will thrive with Chancellor Mone and that leadership style. I know Mark will continue to work whatever is and do whatever is necessary to demonstrate the many ways UW-Milwaukee serves as a university, not just of Wisconsin, but for Wisconsin. With that, we move to the order of business today. I'm going to ask Dr. Reisel to join me, and we're going to do this in a collaborative way. We hope, so we'll try. So Mark, would you join us here as well? Wow, that's beautiful. I'll let you hold that, John. There's so much symbolism in higher education, and this is one of those symbols. So Chancellor Mone, I'll let you stand behind him. John, if you would, and stand up here. We want everyone to see you, Mark, so. It is my privilege to bestow this Chancellor's medallion as a symbol of the office and to charge that it be worn both with humility and with pride. Every time you put it on, every time you wear it, may its weight and its looks and its appearance remind you of your responsibility to commit your many talents, your energy, and all your gifts to serving and leading the people of this great university. Go ahead, John. Congratulations, Mark.
Just when you think it's all been said, wow, this is as somebody has said earlier today, very hard to follow. I'm so thrilled and honored, absolutely flattered, and thank you all so much. What I'd like to do in light of the tragic events recently at Umpqua Community College in Oregon that we learned about late yesterday, and the recent death of one of our students and her sister this week, I would like to deviate briefly from my planned script, if that's okay, to honor the victims. In the Oregon campus shooting, at least 10 lives were lost and another 7 people were injured. Last night, we held a vigil on our campus for Brittany Musumeci, 23, and her sister, Alexis Musumeci, 24, from Oregon, Wisconsin, who were killed when a wrong-way driver slammed into them on Interstate 95 in Jupiter, Florida, while they were on vacation. Brittany had just graduated from UW-Milwaukee with honors, and she was an accomplished violinist. In honor of Brittany and the victims of the school shooting in Oregon, will you please join me by standing for a moment of silence, please? Thank you. I want you all to know that UWM places the highest value on the people who work, study, and teach here, and the safety and well-being of our students is the most important responsibility that I and other university administrators have. I'll now begin my inaugural address titled, Building on Our Past, Transforming Our Future. President Cross, Regents, Senator Baldwin, Mayor Barrett, County Executive Abele, delegates, distinguished guests, students, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, WICU colleagues, and valued UW System Institution representatives, thank you for attending today. All of you who have presented, performed, and attended honor us. Deserving great thanks for distances traveled include my family from Washington, Oregon, and Colorado, the Bergesons from Tennessee, and my doctoral advisor and mentor, Dr. Douglas Baker from Illinois. I want to express my great appreciation to the steering committee, planning team, and wonderful marshals for organizing everything so well. And to my wife, Sarah, son, Eric, daughter, Emily, thanks for your support and love and for putting up with me. How about a round of applause for our Master of Ceremonies, Gail Klappa. Beyond Gail earning his BA in Mass Communications in our College of Letters and Science, UWM bestowed upon Dr. Klappa an honorary Doctor of Commercial Science for his continuing contributions to our community and the university. He's an extraordinarily busy man who makes the time to help UWM continue to move forward. Gail, as I've often said, when this great CEO of one of the greatest CEOs in the nation in the utility industry, when this tires for you, we've got a lot of opportunities for you here at UWM. Thank you again so much. I'd like to also thank Professor Frankie Flood for creating this exceptional medallion that so meaningfully represents all that we are. It's so neat, as you probably saw in the video, the map also of Milwaukee, that I can remove this cover, and during the reception I hope you ask about it, but you can see through this and see the city and the great map of Milwaukee that is on it. And sometimes I just wish that it was oxygen instead of water that is here. Seriously, water is critically important. So what a wonderful day in which we celebrate the past, present, and future, the impact of this institution, this great home that we call the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Let's take a moment to contemplate what UWM stands for, where we came from. Access, research, discovery, innovation, and of course, the basic principle of the Wisconsin idea that the university should improve people's lives beyond the classroom. Charles Van Hise, the grandfather of the Wisconsin idea, declared that he would never be content until the beneficent influence of the university reaches every family in the state. I feel the same way and would like to see a day when UWM impacts the lives of every family in Wisconsin. Recognizing where we came from strengthens our resolve for where we are going. It's not widely known that UWM's roots are deeper than in 1956 when our campus was officially created as UWM. Rather, our genesis was in 1885 when the State Normal School held its first classes on Wells and 18th Street. Since then, UWM has faced three major turning points. The first turning point came in 1922, when the Regents voted to discontinue college courses and instead focus only on the instruction of teachers who were in great demand as the population continued to grow. To meet that need, the Milwaukee State Normal School began offering four-year education-related degrees and soon became the Wisconsin State Teachers College. The second turning point came in the 1940s when millions of veterans came home from the war and were entering or re-entering the workforce. The demand for higher education was so overwhelming that the Teachers College was authorized to award more four-year bachelor's degrees, and in 1951 we became Wisconsin State College. A merger with the Milwaukee Extension Center in 1956 marked the third point when the Regents officially sanctioned the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee as a doctoral research university. There's a singularly important thread woven throughout this history that I just shared with you. It's this: each turning point in our history came because the region and the state needed something more, and we needed to transform. Evolution and revolution are continuous, and the only constant is change. So, just as UWM has met past needs, there's no doubt that we will change again. When needs have arisen, UWM has delivered. As you've seen and heard today, the impact of UWM is at the individual level as we transform students' lives. The impact of UWM is at the organization and community levels through the roles that our graduates collectively play. The impact of UWM is at the regional, state, national, and international levels through our research, discovery, and global reach. And yet, you sometimes still hear people say, gee, UWM is Milwaukee's best-kept secret. Does that bother you as much as it bothers me? I can't believe that. I understand in 1989 when I came here, that was kind of the way it was known. But when I hear that occasionally, not as much. It still is something that really motivates me to tell the story, and that's why I'm so delighted to be able to showcase and tell you many of the great things that are happening here today and tell you about our future. I can assure you that those who have been touched by UWM will tell you that we are not a secret. This is a university that has a great record of success with adapting and changing to serve the needs of the people of Wisconsin. For example, the Milwaukee public school system has been hit hard by tightened budgets that impacted the arts. In response, faculty from our Peck School of the Arts procured a grant to develop a program that creates an ecosystem of support for current and future arts educators. Another example, nearly 30% of worker injuries in the gas utility industry come from changing meters. Our College of Engineering and Applied Science faculty and graduate students collaboratively developed a wrench that is now in production with Kenosha's Snap-on tools to prevent those costly and painful injuries. Another example, about 15 years ago, pollution and bad press nearly shut down Bradford Beach. You might recall that period. The culprit was assumed to be combined sewer overflows. However, novel molecular fingerprinting techniques from our School of Freshwater Sciences discovered that the culprit, in fact, was seagull excrement. The analysis was a genesis of more partnerships with Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, Milwaukee County Parks, the Lake Express Ferry, and Miller Coors. Together, we solved the problem with stormwater gardens and a pooch patrol for those seagulls. My dog Max might need to sign up for that. Today, a revitalized Bradford Beach is one of the most popular on all of Lake Michigan, and I think we'd all call this a success. Another example, the closing of the Pabst Brewery left the neighborhood surrounding the abandoned complex vacant and struggling. UWM partnered with community leaders and the Zilber Family Foundation to establish the Zilber School of Public Health in one of Milwaukee's most economically challenged neighborhoods. This school, today the only urban public school of public health in the state, now serves as a hub for learning, research, and community engagement while helping to revitalize the neighborhood. These are not secrets. These are successes. They're all examples of how UWM met a need. As a final exhibit, the Kauffman Foundation this year identified Wisconsin as last place nationally and Milwaukee as 39th out of 40 metro areas for new business startups. In response, thanks to a generous $10 million gift from Sheldon and Marianne Lubar and a system match, UW system match, UW Milwaukee will create a new entrepreneurship center and a new campus welcome center. The goal of the Lubar Center for Entrepreneurship will be to develop and train student entrepreneurs from all disciplines across our campus and help spark net new job growth in this region, along with innovation and creativity in existing organizations. We saw a need and are adapting and changing to meet that need. This is success in the making, and I can guarantee it won't be a secret. Our doors are open to the people of Wisconsin and beyond. We're a place where metamorphosis, service, and success take place every day. You know, the ritual of this inauguration ceremony with all its formality, pomp, and circumstance might suggest that today is about an individual. It's not. Frankly, I am rather embarrassed and guilty about all of that attention, but I have to tell you, anything that gives us an opportunity to showcase, highlight, underscore, and bring attention to the transformative effects, get out of my way and I'm there. It's just that important. Instead, what this is about What today is really about is the will of the people to induce positive change. None of the life and community-changing examples that you've heard about today would have been possible without the energy and the power of our people, our students, faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and all our partners. You comprise everything that we do. I've often said that the diversity of our people is one of our greatest strengths. Let me explain that a little more. From the 1,100 veterans on our campus, more than any other college or university in a 6-state region, to the more than 1/3 of our student body, which is of color, to the nearly 40% of our undergraduates who are first-generation college students, to our American Sign Language program, and to UWM being among the top 50 campuses in the nation for LGBT+ students. That is what I call a testimony to diversity. Our very composition has changed, and we embrace those changes and are turning them into successes. Our more than 163,000 living alumni have remarkable impact on organizations in our community, region, and world. The majority live and work in Wisconsin, and they're a top choice of area companies and organizations that employ our graduates. In fact, most area firms have more UWM Panthers on their workforce than from any other single source of talent. Companies like Aurora Healthcare, Northwestern Mutual, Milwaukee Public Schools, Rockwell Automation, and Robert W. Baird, to name just a few. These are the Panthers who become our esteemed alumni. People like Satya Nadella, the CEO of that company you might have heard of out of Seattle, Washington, called Microsoft. Satya received his master's degree in computer science from UW-Milwaukee. Or Mai Shou-Sheng, a first-grade teacher at MPS's Academy of Accelerated Learning, who is a Wisconsin Teacher of the Year. May received her master's from our School of Education. UWM has changed the lives of so many of our well-known leaders and those who fulfill important roles in the community, the accountants, the healthcare workers, the building and operations experts, librarians, the retail marketers, and social workers. The list goes on. While many of us could cite statistics about the people of UWM for longer than you would care to listen, I'd like to share a few examples, more specific stories, the type that I get to hear about every day, stories of changed lives. And I'm just going to draw from some over the past few weeks. Last Friday, I was visiting with Jim Ziemer. Jim received his BBA in accounting from the Lubar School of Business and went on to earn his executive MBA degree with us. Rising from a summer job as a shop floor employee at Harley-Davidson, Jim moved up in key finance roles. He helped lead the buyout of the company from AMF and went on to help turn around the last surviving American motorcycle manufacturing firm, and what greatness it has since achieved. And you might have guessed, it was no accident that our Panther, Jim Ziemer, became the CEO and president along the way. So as Jim and I were visiting, he was reflecting on the influences in his life, and he praised the discipline, teaching, and impact of Dr. Paul Fisher, our Jerry Lehr Professor of Accounting. Now, fast forward only 3 days later, when on Monday, as I was in the Gast House, more on that in a moment, watching the Packers with a group of our current Masters in Professional Accounting Program students, including my son Eric, guess who they came up with as one of their key influences today? You got it. The same Professor Paul Fisher who continues teaching to this day. And incidentally, bringing the circle full, Paul received his BBA in accounting here as well. Do I have a great job to hear these stories or what? You know? So, full disclosure regarding the Gast House. First time since I've been in the role, I bought the beer, and I only had one. And the Packers won, so what more could we ask for? About 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to visit with Catherine Henry, who sang so beautifully for us earlier today before she performed the national anthem at UWM night at Miller Park. She told me how she grew up in Sheboygan. She'd mastered 18 different instruments and came to UWM wanting to study music and become a band leader. In Katie's first year, Tanya Cruz Ruck, our assistant professor of voice and opera and director of our vocal program, illuminated for Katie the gift that she had, helped train her, and opened doors for her to become one of the greatest young voices nationally, as recognized by her finalist placement in the Metropolitan Opera. And she has been courted by leading music schools, including Juilliard. Katie said, in her words, Dr. Cruz Ruck is a mentor and a second mom for me. Powerful words. A final example of the transformative effects of our people comes from our history department in the College of Letters and Sciences. Our alumna, Dr. Evelyn Brooks Higginbotham, was honored earlier this month by the White House with a National Humanities Medal for a career showcasing the African American journey. She counts, now a professor at Harvard University, she counts UWM history professor Nathan Miller as one of her heroes because of the impact that he had on her early development as a scholar. She said, I wrote a paper on African American soldiers in Civil War, and I thought I'd written a good paper, and I got a C-. She said it was heartbreaking. Evelyn often relays to her Harvard students how she was challenged at UWM by this experience to ask questions and to think critically rather than simply offer a narration of events. In her words, I always tell my students the best friend you can have is someone who gives you honest and constructive criticism because they can only make you better. You'll notice a common theme, by the way, that the further our alumni have climbed the professional ladder, the more they use their liberal arts education. So what is it that I'm saying? I hope that two things are clear thus far. First, our faculty and staff truly change lives in profound ways. Second, we too have made significant transformations through three important turning points in our history. I need to shift gears, though. I need to tell you a little bit about the future and where I think we will go and how we will get there. While it won't be easy, because of the qualities that I've shared, I believe that we're well positioned to face and successfully address today's challenges to create what is now our fourth turning point. I'd like to outline several areas of emphasis that we will pursue as we proceed. First, we must realize the stark challenges facing higher education today in Wisconsin and elsewhere. We're experiencing competitive pressures, technology shifts, demographic challenges, and a host of other constraints, and we don't really know what the future holds. These challenges are considerably different than those that faced UWM in the past. They're more deeply rooted, they're more comprehensive, and they're part of a national set today of issues that are facing all of higher education. It's in this context that we have to draw upon both our history of transformation and the ingenuity, savviness, and scrappiness that's part of UWM's DNA. Perhaps ironically, one of my primary research, teaching, and consulting areas is organizational decline and turnaround. What we're experiencing in higher education today is unfortunately very similar to what other organizations have experienced. There are forces to which we must evolve or we will face even more serious threats of maladaptation. As Darwin was fond of saying, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent that survive, but those who can adapt to their environment. It's true that in Wisconsin we have our own unique forces, but if we look aside or we look ahead, we can see that most, if not all, of higher education is facing similar issues. Through the study and knowledge gained from others who have successfully transformed, and the key word is successfully, there are useful lessons for us in higher education and elsewhere. Looking forward, we must examine everything about our current situation and ensure that it's fully understood. Any denial or lack of awareness or seriousness can hobble any organization. We must clearly communicate the process for revitalization. We must involve key stakeholders in the possible paths and choices ahead, and we must determine the priorities and take decisive action to achieve them. It's in this context that we've been having extensive campus communication sessions, campus-wide and school and college level. We've come together in working groups. Last week, we launched a Chancellor's Task Force with the charge to identify proactively major efficiencies, organizational structure, and additional approaches that will enable us to be optimally positioned for 2020 and beyond. By the way, it's not like we're acting as if these forces are immutable. We are not. We've had dozens and dozens of legislative visits this year, with many others planned. I've been working closely with UW System President Ray Cross and others in the UW System to develop plans for a strong UWM. Many of you have been advocating through our alumni, foundation, faculty, and staff and friends groups in person, social media, websites, and beyond. But just realizing the challenges isn't enough. So our second area of emphasis must be to manage our destiny through goals, long-range planning, clear actions, and assessment or metrics. How are we doing? We must use the knowledge resources we have to establish our own best practices. So to move our campus forward, we'll focus on these strategic objectives. Student success, research excellence, community engagement, building a more positive climate and culture, and aiming for increased visibility, brand, and image. Have you been hearing those things today already? No surprise, I hope. That should be very consistent. I think it's becoming part of our DNA today, and there's a greatness in a shared vocabulary that brings those similar things to mind. So our academic leaders are focusing on goals and metrics in these areas, while I'm doing the same across all areas of our campus leadership and involving our governance groups. The final point to successfully navigate the fourth turning point in our history is to strengthen the role of partnerships, which you've been hearing so much about. They are the wellspring of our success. We don't do anything alone. You've probably heard me say this before, and I'm not alone. Milwaukee, as a region, and the larger state are often on the map for some of the wrong reasons. When we read the headlines about where the state ranks with entrepreneurism, or aspects of infant mortality rates, or the rate of incarceration for black males in Milwaukee, or the income and achievement gap in our city, or how we are preparing for the state's future workforce, it's clear that Milwaukee, the state, and our society have urgent needs. Now, more than ever, UWM, with its unique research and access mission, is the answer. I'm grateful to my predecessors who helped lead our campus and with resolve and move us forward to address the needs of our city, region, and well beyond. We will build upon the shoulders of those giants, but it's not UWM alone. Those turning points I mentioned at the beginning of my talk sprang from problems and needs. Likewise, responses to major turning points today require the precious multiple perspectives that partnerships produce. I'd like to tell you about a few. Our M-Cube partnership with MATC and MPS is a very deep commitment, an educational partnership unlike any we've had before. Dr. Darian Driver and Dr. Vicki Martin are both on the platform today and have been introduced earlier. This in itself is a historic first. Our collaboration will better prepare K-12 students for post-secondary education and jobs. It's dedicated to achieving student success in Milwaukee from kindergarten through college. As part of M-Cubed, which, by the way, M-Cubed intentionally is an exponent that points out that it's more than our additive efforts, but it's truly multiplicative. It is something that has much more power than any of us working alone. As part of this relationship with MPS, MATC, the Greater Milwaukee Committee, and industry, we continue to improve Bradley Tech, which is an essential technology and trade school in Milwaukee. Together, we will have a dramatic impact when we combine the energy, connections, and resources of the three largest public educational institutions in the state, which serve Wisconsin students. Our reach is in the hundreds of thousands of individuals. We're also forging new work on what we call our social compact by bringing together first faculty, staff, and administration to channel productively the various efforts across our campus that are working on social justice, social entrepreneurship, and equity issues. One part of our social compact will be what we've described as Solution Central. This is a vehicle for making a difference in specific urban areas with measurable outcomes. The UW system is generously providing initial funding, and we will soon be calling for proposals to focus on educational attainment and the achievement gap. In economic development, our work with the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Midwest Energy Research Consortium, the Water Council M7, and many of our great UW system institutions is well established, and we will strengthen those ties. In our work at the Innovation Campus, we will build on our work with the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. John Raymond is with us on the platform program today. We welcome John's partnership and good friendship in all things that we do at MCW. That was a very important strategic direction our campus took. There, we have more than just MCW, but its constituent components and many other partners. We have Froedtert Hospital, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, the Blood Center of Wisconsin, many others to accelerate discoveries, create jobs, and promote the biomedical and other industries in Wisconsin. We must build on these areas to make an even greater difference in the region, thereby powering the state to stronger job growth and economic prosperity. As we know, this state is driven very much by how we can help drive and power things in southeastern Wisconsin, given our role in commerce, the population center, and all other sectors that are so critically important. Our partnerships in urban health must also continue because so many in our area have limited access to health care. For nearly 30 years, the College of Nursing has provided primary health care services in partnership with social service agencies in Milwaukee. Nearly 10,000 visits are provided every year to Milwaukee's most vulnerable residents. Every year this happens with our nursing faculty and staff through our community nursing centers. Thanks to Yvonne and Jim Zemer's $1 million gift and matching corporate partnerships, we will be able to expand our work in nursing through our new Center for Healthcare Transformation. We are so fortunate to have all of the valuable partners mentioned throughout this address and scores of others: Johnson Controls, Harley-Davidson, Milwaukee Succeeds, GE, City of Milwaukee, Direct Supply, Milwaukee County, Growing Power, Kohl's, Badger Meter, and the list continues to grow. We thank the companies that have worked with us on many of these same initiatives, and you have my commitment to be a strong partner going forward. In closing, let me stress the key points here today. We have strong roots, resilient DNA, and will overcome and transform to meet the needs of the state and the headwinds present in higher education today. I think I'm giving Dr. Glazer a number of additional words to work into another poem. That you always have to cringe a little bit when somebody's going to play your words back to you in that context. I couldn't be more appreciative of how wonderful you did with that. It's amazing. We appreciate the support of you, our friends, the state, and our partners, and we need more of it. Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin deserves more of UWM, and we're ready to deliver. I heard a number of people that preceded me on the program today talk about additional resources. I love to hear that. Please bring it forward. We all would appreciate that. My counterparts across all of the institutions of higher education that are here today will tell you the same thing about the value that they bring, how important education is in the world today. Together, let us realize the unequaled promise of our communities. We are a university that has many aspirations, to be sure. I will do everything in my power to transform those aspirations into the making of a university by which tomorrow's leaders and citizens will be inspired. For UWM, you have my commitment to uphold our core values of academic freedom, shared governance, and tenure with both our existing governance groups and our newly formed AAUP chapter. For the community, I commit to strengthening partnerships focused on economic development, social justice, achievement, entrepreneurship, and innovation, consistent with our core mission of excellence in education, research, and community engagement. It's my great privilege and honor to serve as the 9th Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee at this pivotal point. I look forward to our work together as friends, as colleagues, as scientists, as humanitarians, to reimagine just how far we can and will go. This means more to me than words alone can describe. My sincere thanks to you for sharing this day with me and the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Go Panthers! All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Chancellor Mone, congratulations. You've all heard the phrase, the right man at the right time. I've had the great privilege of knowing Mark for many years, and Mark, you will be an outstanding leader. You are the right man at the right time for UWM. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Couldn't have had a better.
Now, to help bring our program to a close, we'll hear Leonardo Dreams of His Flying Machine, performed by the UWM Concert Chorale, led by director Zachary Durlam.
Tormented by visions of flight and falling. Tormented by visions of flight and falling. Oh, wondrous and terrible each and and terrible each and Master Leonardo imagines an engine to carry America into the sun. He dreams again the Cavalry itself gives voice. Leonardo. Master Leonardo da Vinci dreams of his flying machine. As the midnight watchtower tolls over rooftop, street, and dome, the triumph of a human being ascending in the dreaming of a mortal man. Leonardo steals himself, he steals himself, takes one last breath, and leaps. Tum 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 tum.
Just outstanding, beautifully done. Our thanks again to the UWM Concert Chorale. We've had just a wonderful event today to mark this historic occasion for UWM, but with your patience, I'd like to add just one more thing. As we close our program, I actually thought it might be helpful to share a little bit of research that I did on the life and times of Mark Money. Sarah, it's going to be okay. Folks, there's some really interesting stuff in Mark's history. For example, urban legend has it that in his formative years as a rising academic star in the state of Washington, Mark captured the imagination of a rock and roll legend. And that rock and roll legend actually created a monster top 40 hit just to honor Mark. Let's take a quick listen. You get the point. Now, I got to tell you, my research has not exactly been peer-reviewed, but I want to thank rocker Billy Idol for his contribution to today's program. And I want to thank Tom Luljek for letting me throw that in. I know that many of you are looking forward to congratulating Mark in person. I would ask, however, that everyone in the audience please remain seated to allow the Chancellor and the platform party to depart the stage. We'll meet up with all of you just a block down the street at the reception in Mark's honor. And if you recall, that reception will be held in UWM's newest building, the Kenwood Interdisciplinary Research Complex. UWM staff will be stationed along Kenwood Boulevard and Maryland Avenue to help guide us along the way. Thank you again for attending the inauguration of UWM Chancellor Mark Money. We'll see you in just a few minutes at the Kenwood Research Complex. Thank you again, everyone. We appreciate it.